Hello, welcome to science. Today we are going to be working on another lab. You're going to need your lab notebook turned to page 55. It's called Heating and Cooling Water. The materials that we need for today's lab are going to be a supply of blue water. You're going to find those around the room in a white bucket, a glass bottle, hot and cold water, which you can get from the hot and cold water stations, a plastic bucket, a syringe, a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, a pencil, you'll have to make a pencil work, a stopper with a glass tube, and a piece of cardstock, and a piece of tape. Okay, so what we are going to be doing in this lab, you're going to start off by making a thermometer, a homemade thermometer. What you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a syringe full of the blue water, and the water is blue just to make it easier to see in the thermometer. You're going to want to put the water into the glass bottle. You're going to fill it up all the way to the top, but not so that it's overflowing. Oh, just like that. So I overflowed it a little bit. That's why I should have put it in this bucket. That's what this bucket's for. And since it's at the very, very top, I'm going to dump out a little bit so that there's a few centimeters left. So it's up to about like the groove of the top of the bottle. Then I'm going to take my stopper with my glass tube and I'm going to place it into the glass bottle. You are going to want to adjust this so that the water level is about halfway up the tube. Okay, and you could do that by adjusting like how far you press the stopper in. You might have to pull it back out a little bit if the water level is too far up the tube. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the cardstock and a piece of tape, and you're going to carefully tape the cardstock to the tube. And then I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to mark the initial starting line of the initial level of the water line. I'm going to mark it, and then I'm going to mark it with an R for room temperature. This is where the water level is at room temperature. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look again at page 55. It says, what happens when you place the bottle system in cold water? So I've already prepared my cold water here. I'm going to take my homemade thermometer, and I'm going to place it in the cold water. No spoilers. You are going to wait a few seconds and observe what happens, and then write your answer on page 55. The second question says, what happens when you place the bottle system in hot water? You're going to take your bottle. You're going to put it in hot water. Oops. Do it carefully. You will have less water in your cup than I have in mine. No spoilers. You're going to record what happens when you put it in hot water. Okay? When you are finished with the lab, and then you're going to go through and answer those questions 3, 4, and 5 as well. When you are finished with your lab, you're going to want to clean up. You're going to dump out all of the liquids, dump out the hot water, the cold water into the sink. And then you are going to dump out the blue water also in the sink. So you'll just carefully take the stopper out, dump it into the sink, and then I want you to take the cardstock off of the glass tube, okay, so that it's prepared for the next class. Put all of the materials back in the bucket, and you're all cleaned up. And if there's a little bit of blue water left in this, just rinse it out a little bit in the sink. That is how we are going to do this lab today. Happy sciencing.